Judge Vanderbeek Court is now in session. Judge, this is the case of the Kennedys.
Thank you. You all may be seated. Okay, Mr. Kennedy, you brought this case before the court.
Yes, ma'am.
What's going on?
So I'm sharing custody with our 12-year-old daughter now, and I'm just wanting a little more help with finances because as she's getting older, expenses are getting a little higher, and sports, dances, going out hanging with girls, and yeah, I just want a little more help on my end. I'm paying insurance already. And
Okay. How much are you paying in insurance?
$130.
All right. And what is your daughter's name?
Autumn.
Autumn. Oh, what a beautiful name.
Thank you.
Autumn. Okay. So what type of expenses does she have that are increasing?
Yeah, so she's doing volleyball right now, and we're thinking that she's going to be doing that in high school as well.
Okay.
So just, athletic wear and then traveling, going to places I want to go.
All right, people. Buckle up because today's case is about a fight for financial justice and fatherhood. The mother is asking her 14-year-old son's father for more money, even though he is already paying for their tuition and health care. The twist is that she feels that this is insufficient, but the father is refusing to back down, claiming that he is already paying his fair share. The judge is going to weigh the facts and determine what is morally and legally correct. Will the court rule in favor of the mother, or will the father leave? Stay tuned because there are a lot of unexpected scenes and courtroom drama in this one.
If I don't want her to ride the bus because I don't feel her safe doing that.
Okay. Is this a school bus or
Yeah, it's a school bus.
with her teammates?
With her teammates, yes.
And you don't feel that she should
No.
ride with her teammates?
If it's really far away, maybe like an hour or more, I'll
Okay.
drive her. But, if it's 30 minutes or less, I'll usually let her typically go.
Okay. That's understandable. Okay. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to her?
She's just a growing girl, and girls are expensive, as they say. So,
I mean, we are. We have a lot of stuff that we need. So, yeah. Ma'am, is there anything you want to add or subtract from what he said?
Yes, Your Honor, I do feel that he's trying to take advantage of my new relationship.
Okay. Tell me about this new relationship.
Well, I can't really help who I have fallen in love with. So my new husband is a fantastic provider. However, I do get an allowance, and it isn't as much as you would think coming from. Well, my husband's a CEO of an energy company, so you would expect a huge allowance, but obviously he has to protect all of his hard-earned income.
What type of allowance do you receive?
About $500 a week.
$500 a week. Okay.
Let's break this down. $395 a month for tuition and $185 for healthcare is already a significant amount. But this is where things get interesting. Child support is about equitable accountability, not covering every aspect of a child's life. However, legally, extracurricular activities aren't always required expenses for child support calculations. The court must determine whether these activities are necessary or just nice to have. What do you guys think? Should parents be forced to pay for hobbies? Is this going too far? Mom is arguing that because Kevin joined football and started taking guitar lessons, Dad should now pay more.
So, which really isn't that big a deal. Obviously.
That big a deal in terms of the amount of money, or you paying child support for more in child support for the child living with him and having increased expense?
Well, I don't think it's that big a deal to Mr. Kennedy because he has a pretty healthy income himself.
But you do understand his income does not have anything to do with an increase in what you should be paying in child support, right?
Yes, I understand that, but what I don't think has been considered yet is the fact that I set aside furthering my education, though I wanted to pursue that, so that he could go get his MIS degree and then a master's in something. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure that it's fair. I would like to consider all the money that wasn't spent on me that should have been spent on me while we were married.
Okay, no, that's not how this works. And sir, she says she gets a $500 a week allowance from her husband, and who is a CEO of an energy company. Briefly, how much money does your husband make?
I'm really not sure.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's a lot.
It's a lot?
I think so.
When you say a lot, is it like in the 200,000s, 300,000s?
Well, the car that he drives was about 200,000. So I'm thinking you probably have to
You
make
only
more
get a
than that.
$500 a week. You know what? That's not my business. That's not the reason I'm here. I'm not going to even entertain it.
That's what I was thinking too.
I'll just move on. Sir, do you know how much money her husband makes a year?
I don't, but he's the Steve Jobs of the town of energy.
Steve Jobs.
So, to say.
So let me ask you this. Are you expecting her child support to be based on his Steve Jobs?
No,
Yeah.
his success has nothing to do with me or my daughter or our
Okay.
daughter. And like I said, I just want a little more help because she's
Okay.
getting older. And, if she's happily married with whoever and how big his wallet is, that is totally up to her.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that's not what you were doing.
Whoa, let's take a moment to think. Did you notice that the judge just revealed the figures? It turns out that Dad makes $45,000 a year cleaning pools, which isn't exactly a fortune, but he still pays for his tuition, healthcare, and other expenses. Mom also works, so the main question is why she doesn't pay some of these additional expenses. This is where child support situations can get complicated, because it's not always the case that the other parent must pay the additional amount requested. Do you believe Dad is contributing enough, or should he contribute more? Please share your ideas.
What we can do, ma'am, is make you pay more in child support, because at this point you've been paying zero. Because from what I see, you're a stay-at-home mom, which is absolutely okay. But you do understand that your child has increased expenses, correct?
Yes, I do see that.
Okay,
but
so after yes, I do see that, that means that I don't need any further response. So you understand that, right?
well, how much are we talking about?
We're going to base it off that $500 a week allowance that you make.
Okay.
So, based on that, I have your gross at $2,000 a month. After you take out the calculations for the taxes, your net comes out to $1,662.53. Okay? That will give you a child support obligation of $266. However, you also heard him say that he pays $130, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
In medical insurance for the child. You're going to have to reimburse that to him. So, in addition to the $266 a month for child support, you add the $130, your child support obligation monthly comes out to $396.
Can I say something?
Sure, but make it brief.
Okay, well, I don't know if he's still subscribing to the same psychic,
Okay.
but she charges, I think it's $412 a month.
Okay.
And-
What does this psychic have to do with these numbers?
Well, because I just feel like if he can afford the psychic, then maybe he can afford the insurance. And I guess I feel that that is money that could have gone towards my education while we were married.
Okay, well, I've already said no to that. That has nothing to do with me. I mean, you should address that in your divorce, obviously. And whatever he pays, if he chooses to do that, that has nothing to do with your responsibility, your financial responsibility to your daughter. So if there's nothing further from either of you, you all are dismissed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rise and walk out.
This is a perfect example of how courts can deviate from standard child support formulas when it makes sense. The judge just called in and decided to lower the child support amount from $589.63 to $300.95 in order to ensure tuition is covered. This means the father won't be responsible for everything, but the child's education will still be protected. Let's break it down. Mom wanted more money, but the court decided that the dad was already paying his fair share. Instead of raising his child support, the judge made sure that tuition was paid and left extracurricular activities optional. What do you think the judge made the right decision? This decision emphasizes a crucial point. Courts consider financial obligations on both sides before awarding more money. If you thought this case was as fascinating as we did, please hit the like button, leave a comment below, and let us know who you believe was right. If you enjoy delving deeply into actual courtroom drama, don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth legal analyses. Until the next time, remain alert and knowledgeable.